Tape Deck Media.
Hi folks, Aaron here. Just letting you know we'll be back next week with a new movie. But until then, we have a previously unreleased bonus episode for you that we actually recorded way back in the fall of 2021. It's a Tales from the Crypt episode that was directed by Arnold, but if you want to watch the actual episode beforehand, so you actually know what we're talking about throughout this whole thing, you can find the full episode on YouTube, or just click on the link that we included in the description. It should be in there too. And yeah, you should definitely check it out. It's a fun episode. Anyway, that's it for me. So enjoy this bonus episode, and we'll catch you next week when we begin Arnold's 1990 comedy classic, Kindergarten Cop.
The inside.
Foreclose that long. Bold 3 detergent plus.
Only intended for plain cut.
It's impossible.
Call toll free.
See you at the party, Richter!
Welcome to a scarifying special bonus episode of See You at the Party, Crypta. My name is Aaron Fleshkus, and with me as always is I didn't have time to think of names for you guys, Joseph Beck Castro and Chris Chapman.
Oh, come on.
I started writing this like a few hours before, and I spent half an hour writing what I have, like that part, just trying to find stuff that rhymes. So I looked up Joseph for a second, then I was like, no. You guys got any castrated? That's all I got.
Chris Chap Deadman. That's all I got.
DeCapistro? No, not getting there.
See, it's hard. Anyway, okay, so
anyway,
Joseph Beck Casket.
Yeah, there you go.
It was right there.
Yeah, okay. And Chris Chap Man. Dead guy. Okay, anyway, in this episode we'll be discussing Arnold's directorial debut, which was in the season 2 episode of HBO's horror/comedy anthology series titled Tales from the Crypt. Is that the correct description you'd say? Like horror/comedy, like horror-comedy?
Yeah, I think so.
Anthology series. But yeah, it was horror, black comedy.
Okay. So it was the second episode of season 2 titled The Switch, and it originally aired April 21st, 1990. And should we set anything up as far as describing what Tales from the Crypt was?
Sure.
Did you guys actually... Oh, I know Chris didn't because he wasn't born yet, but did you watch this show, Joe?
Yeah, we watch it pretty often. It was kind of a thing in our house, so I definitely love the show. It probably scared the piss out of me like so much did back then. But I remember being a great show, and the Crypt Keeper was great. And yeah, I just enjoyed anthology series. And I think I probably led to later falling in love with Twilight Zone.
I like how that went reverse.
Yeah.
I was actually counting on you saying that you guys were too poor for HBO. Because that's usually your answer for everything childhood related.
No. So, while yes, that's true. We actually had a black box. So
okay,
yeah. So for those young bucks out there that are not familiar with it, first of all, I used to have cable boxes. You'd get them from your cable.
You still have them?
Yeah, right. I guess so. Yeah, they got the guides and everything, but you just go from the wall to the cable box and that to the TV, and you flip the channels and get cables. And what a black box is Sony basically, I guess you would call it jailbreak nowadays. But they'd do it, and you'd be able to get like all the channels, if you know what I mean.
Wait, did you get did it unscramble the porn channels?
Yes, at certain points. However, it was in our living room, so that wasn't really an option. But there was one time. I think there was parental.
We're at like 5 minutes. Are you going into porn?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mandatory. I think my dad got all drunk, and my mom was trying to tell him how to work like the parental controls or whatever. She's like, all right, what? Like what? You just press 0000 and that unlocks it. My brother's just like, whoop. Like he's, probably had a class on the fucking wall, just like listening in. So yeah, we were able to unlock some of that stuff.
Nice.
But it was also weird. I think one time my brother and I were watching the movie, what was it, with like Kevin Bacon and
Footloose?
No, Sleepers.
I didn't watch that one.
Okay, so it's
Sleepers.
Yeah, it's kind of a fucked up story. These kids they're like young in New York, and they like steal a hot dog cart as a prank, and they push it down a subway station, and it kills a guy. So they go to juvie for a while. So it's very serious and like dark movie. But yeah, we were watching that, and then it was like, oh shit! Like as soon as 10 o'clock hit, switch right to the Spice Channel. We're like, what? What are we doing? Very weird.
That's a hard emotional right there.
Yes.
Wait, what happens at the end? Sorry, I was.
Oh, I don't know, because it switched to porn at 10 o'clock.
Oh, nice. So you never found out the ending of Sleepers?
No. Well, maybe I might have watched it later. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's how we watch Tales from the Crypt occasionally.
Okay.
Nice.
So I didn't watch the show because I was way too poor to watch the show, or we didn't have HBO. Actually, we might have. Anyway,
at that time, no, I don't think we.
Yeah.
had
So mostly because I probably wouldn't have been allowed to. I mean, I know my dad didn't care, but my dad was poorer than my mom, so like, there's no way he has HBO. Like, it was the only time to watch it was on the HBO free weekends, which were awesome, but never played anything good. But anyway, this is the only episode I've seen of it. So Joe, you've seen more of it. Is it pretty much like the same? Like this is the vibe of the whole show?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of a like a Twilight Zone thing, but I guess a little less on
like a horror bent.
Yeah, a little less sci-fi, more horror.
Silly.
Yeah, I think definitely the Crypt Keeper was pretty silly, but the episodes weren't necessarily supposed to be ridiculous like that. It's kind of like the movie Tales from the Crypt, if you ever seen that.
No,
I'm sorry, not Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Hood.
that is actually a movie, though.
Yeah,
they made a movie. No, I thought he was just being an asshole.
No, it was a movie in the Tales from the Crypt was a movie in the 70s because I was reading the trivia for the show, and I guess
really?
Robert Zemeckis, who's one of the producers, that was one of his favorite movies when he was younger.
Oh.
Although I don't know how much younger, because if it came out in the 70s, he's kind of anyway. But Tales from the Hood, isn't that a Tales from the Crypt movie though? No,
it's kind of a knockoff, but it's the same vibe. It's the not quite blaxploitation, but it's along the same lines of that type of movie. But instead of being like the usually blaxploitation, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's usually kind of a like a comedy-ish version, absurdity type thing of like regular action movies. Tales from the Hood was kind of opposite. It was a little more dark and serious, but it's all black people. So I love that movie.
I've never seen that movie, but who would you say is a better host of the show, the Crypt Keeper or Rod Serling?
That is a great question. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't think I like when you watch Tales from the Crypt, or when you watch Twilight Zone, it's like created by Rod Serling. He's like an executive producer. You don't see that with Tales from the Crypt. You don't see like executive producer, Crypt Keeper, created by the Crypt Keeper.
Sorry, the whole time you were talking, I was trying to think of a Crypt Keeper name for Rod Serling. All I could think of was Rod Sirloin, but he's the Crypt. He's the Crypt Keeper, it's not like a food thing. Anyway, anything else to mention as far as the show? I never watched it, so I don't really have any sort of like connection.
I just remember being terrified of the Crypt Keeper when I was I was really young, even though I knew he was supposed to be funny, but I was 3-4 years old when this show was like still on the air.
Oh yeah, because it went for like 7 seasons. Yeah. I've never been afraid of any of the funnier horror, like villains, I guess, monsters. Like Chucky's hilarious to me. Erica, my girlfriend, finds him terrifying. Freddy Krueger's great too because he's got jokes. I mean, the first one's a little, like a little more horror, but past that, it's.
No, Chucky's funny to me. Freddy gets me just because like that concept is legitimately very like scary.
Yeah, but you just don't think about that part of it.
That's the key to watching horror movies. Just stop thinking about what's scary.
Well, wait, which part are you talking about?
The part that if anything that happens in your dream really happens to you. If you die in your dream, that you die.
Oh, okay.
That if you fall asleep, you're fucked, basically.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I mean, they all scared me because I was a chicken.
Same.
And even now, sometimes I'll read scary stories in bed.
Like to tell in the dark?
Yes.
Those are scary stories.
Yeah. Then what else are you gonna do, right?
Mhm.
Be like, oh, did I close that door all the way? What the fuck's going on over here?
Exactly, but the call was coming from inside the house. But then there was a bloody hook on the car door.
Yeah. The call was coming from inside the house. It's like, yeah, everybody's got cell phones. Like, it's not just one line anymore.
The text was coming from an unknown number. Anyway, the one that scared me was watching It. So the old one.
Yep.
That did it. That did it, and that's why. And then I became like, because I could watch whatever before that. Then after that, I was like, I don't want to watch anything scary anymore. So, Chris, whenever you're ready, go right ahead.
Cool.
The Crypt Keeper. That's yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, I guess Crypt Chapman works. I don't know. All right, so we're going to take you through the episode now. Season 2, Episode 2, it's called The Switch. We start off with the little bookend thing with the Crypt Keeper. He is working out. He's in workout gear, lifting weights. And in walks Arnold to really just bully the crap out of him and take over the hosting duties and tell us the tale of the Switch.
I love Arnold's pants, by the way. Did you guys see his pants?
No?
He's wearing like 90s MC Hammer, like those gecko. Remember those gecko pants?
Zubaz?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Zubaz.
Okay. But like he looks like he's wearing chef pants, basically.
Yeah, that's it. That's what chest pants are. They just have stripes, but in the 90s they had like geckos and, like you said, and weird shit on them.
Yeah, he's just wearing those. It was great. It just to remind you that it's 1990.
I also like that when they have somebody come in and host, they choose maybe the only person less understandable than the Crypt Keeper. Let's see. We go into the credits. So the credits are playing, and underneath that, we see an old man sitting in a lavishly decorated den of his mansion, I guess.
By the way, sorry. They have some crazy producer credits on here. Because it was.
I noticed Zemeckis. I didn't see who else was on there.
Richard Donner, Joel Silver, and Robert Zemeckis, and there were a few others.
Jesus.
But, yeah. That's all.
Wow.
There goes my first note. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's like
delete. That's right.
I was just gonna say these opening credits have a very like Skinamax feel to them.
Yeah. Just
like really dramatic music and like candle lighting and I don't know. And it looks like the kind of house where they would have shot some Skinamax stuff. I didn't know this was directed by Arnold when I first watched it.
Me neither.
Do we know why he did it?
No, I probably should have looked into that, but I do not.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Oh, my theory is like, he'd kind of won the 80s, early 90s action movie war against Stallone. However, Stallone still has that Academy Award from directing Rocky. So he's like, come on, we got to outdo Stallone. So he started getting into directing.
Got it. I just wasn't sure if he was like promoting a movie or if maybe the Crypt Keeper had been in Pumping Iron and I just didn't notice or what.
Well, the only thing that would have come out would be Kindergarten Cop at that time. So, but I don't know. Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah. Was he in a movie with Kelly Preston?
Twins.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah. I don't know why I didn't recognize
She's
her.
his twin, right?
Yeah. She plays the role of Danny DeVito.
Oh. Very unconvincing. Yeah. Okay, so we go back to the old man is staring at a picture of Kelly Preston as his butler enters to check on him. His butler's name is Fulton. The old man is professing his love for the woman in the picture, whose name we find out is Linda, to which his butler replies that he's worried that the woman might be a gold digger, considering that he's like 80 years old and she's 30 or whatever.
Not even that, but does he say gold digger?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He just says, like, are you sure she's interested in you and not your...
Yeah.
And he just leaves it there, and the old guy goes, money?
Where do you guys think he met Kelly Preston? Like, it's not like he's, like, rich, so it's not like he's going to a grocery store.
No, it was down at the Muscle Beach there and later in the episode.
Does he just wander down there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that whole thing doesn't make any sense, how he knows her, why, well... I can see why he's in love with her, but like, yeah, how they know each other, how she doesn't know he's like super rich. She just exists.
Yeah. And he's talking to the butler and he goes, I know you think I've gone mad. And it's the performance he's given here, I just think it's funny because the butler is thinking he's gone crazy because he's laughing like a maniac and talking like a real fucking creep.
I just figured this was like par for the course as far as like Tales from the Crypt, isn't like the overacting?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Joe? From what you remember, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen an episode in a while, but
okay.
Sure.
The old man. I forgot to mention the old man is he's the voice of the scientist from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, the one that makes Sally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who he was, and I was like, oh.
I was like, I know the voice, but I can't remember. I had to look it up. Oh, and so the butler asks him if she's a gold digger, and the old man reveals that Linda doesn't know he's rich. So when he proposes marriage to her, he'll know her love is true. And then they just start talking about Linda. He jumps up in a fit of joy, or possibly dementia, and he and Fulton pull the curtains back to let some sunshine into the mansion.
Yeah, the first time I watched this, I didn't even notice he wasn't going to tell her that he was rich. But I'm also kind of a fucking idiot. So
you just thought she was being a bitch to him the whole time?
Yeah. I'm like, damn, she just switched on him. Why didn't she just marry him in the first place?
And yeah. So they're jumping all around the house, and it was at this point that I was like, man, Fulton really needs to get this dude back on his meds. Because he's just acting like a complete maniac. I don't know. I know you said that's probably just what all the episodes are like, but I don't know. This guy seems especially crazy.
He just seems happy.
But throughout this whole episode, I just kept imagining Arnold being like, no, now you're happy and you're jumping around and you're, because he's directing it. And then you open the blinds and then you start dancing around.
No, nobody's going to understand what you're saying. You have to be physical. The old man shows up to Linda's house with flowers and asks her to marry him, despite the fact that he is quote unquote poor.
Sorry, before that, when he gets out of the car, the butler mentions to him, he's like, you could have dressed a little more smartly, sir, which I thought was funny because it's like he's dressed in a suit. So he's like, nonsense. I don't want to know that I'm rich. That's why I'm wearing my casual tuxedo.
Well, I think this guy is just bad at hiding his wealth because he also shows up in like this classic car with a fucking chauffeur to let him out. Yeah, it's like if she was looking out the window, what the hell did he think she was going to think?
He's like, look, I didn't even bring my cane with a giant diamond stud on top of it.
I actually thought the butler said sparkly, but smartly makes a lot more sense.
British people.
I don't know.
Not to mention when you go up into the house, you can see he's bought her dozens and dozens of roses. He's bought her a buttload of bouquets, so I'm pretty sure she fucking has some idea. Either that or she's just an awful person letting this old poor guy spend all his fucking money on her.
Yeah. Also, the fucking butler just straight up runs a stop sign. Just doesn't even fucking stop. Just goes right through it.
Fucking British people don't know how to drive.
Exactly.
We find out the old guy's name is Carlton as Linda tells him right to his old decrepit face that he's just too old for her to ever love.
That was so great. She just basically she's I won't marry you because you're too damn old. Like, first off, good for her for being upfront about it right away.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty much like, I'd marry you, but I'm like, super smoking hot and you look like an Indiana Jones villain that just drank from the wrong Holy Grail cup. By the way, every time I see Kelly Preston in something, that scene from Twins always pops into my head where she says that her pillow's lumpy because she says it in a kind of funny way, and I remember it used to bug me when I was a kid for some reason. But so I went to find that scene to show you guys just in case you don't remember.
Uh-huh.
But when I typed her name into Google, Google video search, the results were strange.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
The two main results were one, videos from various news sites reporting on her death, and then two, clips from porn sites featuring her nude scenes, with the weirdest one being a 10-minute mixture of the two, which was titled Kelly Preston Nude Compilation Memorial R.I.P. Kelly.
What the fuck?
What?
Which I was
Wait, she died?
Jesus. Yeah, when did she die?
Yeah, she died last year.
Oh.
How? Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
She married to something?
She was married to something. She was married to John Travolta.
Yes.
There you go. Oh, really?
Did you know?
I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to John Travolta.
Stuff? Neither do I, but maybe just because I like Kelly Preston.
Maybe.
Anyway.
All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, too old. Carlton takes the news rather well, all things considered, I think, and says he'll do whatever it takes to make her happy, but also gives just a, I don't know, like a weird maniacal laugh that probably left Kelly Preston being a little creeped out when he left the apartment. And then the next thing he does is goes to a plastic surgeon's office. He's sitting in the waiting room he's flipping through the books, like looking at like what the plastic surgeon has done for other people. And he's sitting there talking to himself, just going, he goes, so young, so young. And then the lady who is right next to him says, did you say something? And he just looks at her and goes, no. And then fucking pretends he didn't. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, she didn't hear him.
He's like he's the age where he stops giving any shits about what anybody thinks about him. He does not give a shit because she starts talking to him about other stuff. Yeah, exactly. She starts talking to him about other stuff, like telling him that the doctor's a miracle worker and all this other stuff, and that he can take like 5 to 10 years off your face. And then he just gives her this look like, fuck you. And then they call him into the office and he leaves. I'm like, damn, he doesn't give a shit.
Good for him.
He gets let into the plastic surgeon's office where the plastic surgeon kind of explains what procedures they can do and how they can help him, and tells him, you know, if they do a bunch of stuff, they could make him look maybe even 20 years younger. And he's like, that's not good enough. I want to look like I'm 30 years old. And the doctor's like, there's limits to what science can do. Like, and then he's like, I heard about something that might be, he's like, I want a brand new face. Like somebody else's face. And the doctor at first acts really indignant, like, that's impossible. And then after a couple seconds changes his tune and he's like, I mean, I could give you a referral, but it's going to be a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And so he tells him about a much shadier, more experimental surgeon. Do you have something to say?
I was just saying, I hope he gets that referral money. That's all.
Do you get referral money?
I don't know, but he's just
for secret illegal referrals.
No, yeah. I would assume so. Okay.
So Fulton drives Carlton to a haunted castle to meet this new shadier surgeon, and he walks him up to the front door with his umbrella because it's a dark and stormy night. And I'm just like, Carlton's really nice to Fulton. I really like this guy. Like, aside from his obsession with the way he looks and like Linda and stuff, I'm kind of sad it doesn't work out for him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool, I guess. I don't know.
He's just nice to Fulton. He's like, I'm fine. Get back in the car where you're safe. I don't know. Oh, he brings them to the door, and they are greeted by a surprisingly handsome, Italian-looking Igor type assistant.
Franco Colombo.
Yeah. I didn't recognize him. I just noticed his name in the credits, but when I saw him, I was like, why the fuck? Like, I don't understand what they're going for here. Like, he's clearly a model type dude, but they try to make him look ugly. I don't know. But then I realized, he just wanted to put Franco in the show.
I didn't even notice that.
Neither did I until I saw there's a couple things of trivia in this, and that was one of them.
Oh. He goes down to meet the shady surgeon, who turns out to be the sweaty psychiatrist from Total Recall. Roy Brocksmith is the actor's name. Yeah.
Didn't even notice that either. Someone's not up on their fucking credit game. That guy is me.
Maybe
I was worried it was me for a second.
Maybe if they would have included the credit as Dr. whatever guy from Total Recall, didn't actually put his real name, just put.
Let's see. So the surgeon tells him he can get a new face for $1 million, and he reveals that he'll actually be buying a younger man's face right off his body. So the surgery itself only costs $100,000. The extra $900,000 goes to the guy whose face he's stealing. Also, I like when the mad doctor is giving a speech, they're just like having a nice meeting. Like, they're having this meeting about what the surgery is going to be. And then as he gets up and starts going on his rant about how he's not respected and how everybody thinks he's crazy, he moves over to the other side of his office and there's a fucking aquarium full of heads. Yeah. And I'm just like, holy shit, has that aquarium full of heads been here the entire meeting?
Yeah.
And why was Carlton not obsessed with that the entire time?
One of them even looks like Arnold's head.
Oh, really?
A little bit too, but it's got like his like Total Recall face when it's like right before his eyes are popping out, just like
And at this point, we meet Hans. Actor's name is Rick Rossovich, whose face is the one that Carlton will be taking. So Carlton finally agrees to the procedure. We see like a montage of the mad surgeon doing his surgery stuff. He's got all sorts of weird equipment.
So the doctor made this good-looking dude? Is that what he said?
He said that he had a hand in his breeding. So
Okay.
I assume it's some sort of just genetic experiment stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking it was a 3-way, but
I'm definitely not thinking he donated anything to it, but
yeah. Yeah, this guy's dungeon house just doesn't look very sanitary. Like, I'm sorry.
True.
Like,
It's
if I
true.
were going to experimental surgery and it was in a dungeon like that, I'd be like, well, probably because it's experimental. Like, I'll do it, but I'm not happy about it.
I mean, I do have a little bit of a problem that the operating theater doesn't have doors. Like, it doesn't. There's literally no barrier to any other room in the rest of the castle. It's just open.
I don't know. This episode just kind of reminded me of Face Off, but if like somehow there was a mix-up and the producers accidentally hired John Waters as a director instead of John Woo, you know? if anybody actually knows who John Waters is.
I do want to see that movie though, with the same budget, and they still have to put all the action scenes in there and see what John Waters does with it.
Yes.
Anyway, when the operation is over, Fulton seems kind of horrified when Carlton walks out to the car and sees what they did to his face. So, I probably should have mentioned Hans is like a 6 foot tall, like super muscly, handsome dude.
Yeah, but like muscly, like regular guy muscly, not like Arnold muscly.
Yeah, not like Arnold.
He's like me muscly.
Yeah, but like
sure,
muscly.
if you skipped a few days, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you fell off your training regimen.
Well, yeah, I mean, like this, he's like post bulk and not trim, you know,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
cut. Like you gotta after you do your workout, you bulk up and then you cut, then you get like a better six pack going on. And he's at the bulk stage. He didn't do his regimen correctly, so little criticism. I'm surprised Arnie let that go, but
True.
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Do you guys think that the Total Recall doctor guy followed Arnold around like what during filming trying to copy his accent for the role? Because he definitely had like a
Possibly, yeah.
kind of Germanish accent, but it was like I don't know.
Where did he say he was from? Bratislava?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is.
That is the capital of Slovakia.
I only know it from Eurotrip, and I don't actually.
Same.
I didn't know if it was actually a real place.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I totally didn't look that up and think it was fake or anything. Definitely no. I don't know. Somewhere around that time, it went from Czechoslovakia to Slovakia and the Czech Republic. That is your history lesson for the day.
When Linda sees Carlton in its new face, turns out she's still unsatisfied because his body is still really gross and doesn't match the new face. Also, his face doesn't look fucking right when it's not on like a huge body.
So was that was just the old dude, like the old actor, like the old guy under all that like makeup and prosthetics, right?
Yeah, so I think for that particular shot, they just put a bunch of prosthetics on the old dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like the description of the episode is that she's a gold digger, which I guess you could probably say at the end of the episode, but like at this point, she's being extremely upfront with him because even in this scene, she's pretty much like, dude, you're still like gross as hell. She calls him decrepit.
Upfront, but admittedly shallow. Like at least a little bit shallow
so am I,
and not super tactful with his feelings either.
No, that's the best part.
Yeah, she's just like, you're old and gross, and I don't like it.
There's honesty and then there's bluntness. those are different.
And she's really good at it.
Carlton assures her that he's going to fix it if she can just be patient. So he leaves again. Fulton is talking to him and trying to dissuade Carlton from going through with any more procedures, but Carlton says basically like, hey, I love her. Love conquers all, right? And then Fulton's like, yeah, but love's also blind. So I don't know. Just watch it. He goes back to the surgeon who offers to give Carlton Hans's torso, but this time for $2 million, which does cause Carlton to hesitate because he is losing his fortune to these procedures. But then he does agree eventually.
So did he actually use the young guy's face the first time or was the face not healed up enough because this second time through?
I'm not entirely sure. I think the idea is he may not have waited long enough before going to see Linda.
Okay.
But also I think it's supposed to show that like a young man's face on an old man's body would be a jarring, weird sight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the doctor did say to wait a while to let it heal. So,
and we don't know if he did or not. So we can kind of assume he didn't wait and he just wanted Linda to see his new face.
And something else it is.
Yeah. Let's see.
His dong, as I was implying, his dong.
Oh, that's why she was disgusted.
This old man dong.
And probably his balls too. Probably his balls. Also, it's a package. Like they come together.
Yeah. Plus, those things
True.
are probably hanging down there. So
Yeah. It's like
That's true. They're hanging low enough. He could probably show her one without the other.
that's true. Yeah. It's like just get out of the shower hanging, but all times.
pull the balls up over the dong and then wrap it like a present.
I used to know a guy who was able to.
There's no way this sentence can end. That's going to be good.
He could pull his sack over his belly button. Like I seen it. I seen this dude. Like, yeah, he was. I don't know, like some dude I fucking worked with when I was like 18. He's like a runner or some shit. But he fucking pulled his sack and like went over his belly button. He just had a fucking stretchy sack. I don't know what to say. His name is Tony.
But did it look normal? Like when
I didn't see like the rest of his junk. He like grabbed it with his pants still on, just kept pulling his sack up. So he might have been hiding a piece of bologna in there. I don't know.
Okay.
But he was able to pull it over his belly button. So I seen it.
all right.
I was going to say, I'm as surprised that you physically saw it as the fact that it could go over his belly button.
Yeah.
But yeah. With Hans's torso, his head now kind of matches, and everything seems to be working out with Linda for a moment. They go to like what is the equivalent of basically Muscle Beach, and he's working out with all the big dudes on the beach, and
There's
impressing
Peter Kent
Linda
in there too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Peter Kent's the first guy it like pops up on, which is Arnold's stunt double, aka the dude that Joe called weird looking in The Sixth Day.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the old man voice with that new body.
Yeah, it's pretty great. He's got that old man voice the entire time.
Yeah.
And even funnier is the young man voice on his body later on.
Yes.
He is showing off for Linda and lifting a bunch of weights, and then they're walking along the beach. Like I said, everything seems to be going all right. And then he says that he wants to go for a swim. They get changed, and when he puts his swim trunks on, Linda can't stand the sight of his horrible, veiny old man legs.
Which he like is that exact line? Because
what?
No,
that's not the exact line. She mentions his veins, definitely, but
yeah. Well, she does say your legs are so scrawny and old, and I guarantee you that was that wasn't in the script. And Arnold's like, "Come on, tell him his legs are scrawny. Look at him."
like even this muscly guy has scrawny legs.
Yeah.
I love Kelly Preston in this. It's like throughout the whole thing. Just how picky and honest she is about the whole time she's being like, I mean, she banged Arnold and twins, so I get it. Like
it's hard to come back from that.
Exactly. Like Julius type fellas are her standard now. Although apparently she'll settle for a Barbarino every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah, when did they get married?
I'm assuming in early 90s because I was looking up her movies and there was one that she was in with him right around this time or right before this too. Yeah.
He was still kind of hot back then, right? I don't know.
I think he started, what was that? That was right around Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think that was right before his like comeback. But yeah, she's like, look at that saggy skin and veins. That's what she said because I wrote it down. It's so disgusting. I might throw up right here.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I got to back up. She is really taking this face and body transplant real well. Like she's just not like, what the?
I didn't even think about that.
Like, how did this happen? Like you got like, it's the same dude. It's your voice and your old saggy balls and legs. But like you have a different torso and face and you're all strong. Like what the fuck is going on? None of that. She's just like, yeah, all right. Like I might smash now. That's cool. Oh, except your legs are gross. It means your balls are probably gross too. But she's taking this extremely well and is very
she's like
weird.
The definition of don't look a gift horse in the mouth. She's just like, hey, it works. Yeah. We go back to Carlton's mansion and find out that he now has to sell his house and let Fulton go in order to be affording all these procedures.
And this is before he finds out about how much the next one's going to cost, correct?
Yeah.
So
he knows he's going to have to spend some money, and he's definitely already spent enough money that he has to give up the mansion. And stuff.
So he's what, $3 million in already.
Yep.
And then he ends up spending another, I think, $3 million.
Another $3 million, yeah.
So he's at least $6 million. What would you say? He's got, because he's pretty much done after that.
Yeah.
So I wonder how, $6 million, is that good in 90s money?
I mean,
it's good now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have
if I had
$6
$6 million, I'd be set for.
But just to where, I don't know.
He wasn't obscenely wealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, let's do some math. So it's about double now, a little more than double.
Like 12 million.
12 million. So I think he's doing good.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, but also he had that baller ass house in LA.
That's
So that's probably worth 84 times as much as it is back then. And I'm sure the price of his car went up as well.
True.
So
yeah, I guess when you consider that, maybe he only had 4 million liquid, and then he sold the house and got another few million.
that's true. Yeah, because I mean, how do you have 4 million liquid assets? That's kind of crazy.
I don't know anything about money, man.
Neither do I.
And then we are back at the mad surgeon's place, and he tells him that the last procedure will cost $3 million. For the bottom half of them, it's going to cost him $1 million per limb. And then Carlton's confused. He's like, but that's only $2 million. And he's like, you're forgetting the most important limb of all.
The ball sack.
It's his wiener.
Oh.
All right. So he's got to pay $1 million to get that dick replaced. But technically, he could have just got his legs replaced. So all he's got to do is turn the lights off, and she might not even notice that his dick looks like the time I tried to bake a tube of Pillsbury crescent rolls without unrolling the dough first. You know?
Yeah. Well, this is also
just all crusty and burnt.
But gooey on the inside.
But still not useful.
Well, this is all pre-Viagra, so I don't know how far I can get away with that.
So he reluctantly agrees. After the procedure, after the operating scene, it seems like there was some sort of editing mistake or something on the one I was watching, because at this point we just see some behind the scenes footage of Roy Brocksmith just admiring the hell out of a naked Rick Rossovich. He's just standing there in the mirror naked, and the doctor's just looking at him like, you're magnificent, you're perfect. He's just staring at his balls.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what? We're rolling? Oh, shit. All right. What's my line again?
He's like, just whatever's on the top of your head right now.
Yeah.
When Carlton now shows up to Linda's place, he finds out she moved to some fancy new place.
By the way, the guy that gives him the address is the detective from The Sixth Day.
The detective?
CCH Pounder? Wow, she looks way different.
The Sixth Day? That's End of Days.
Yeah, that's End of Day. I was like, wait, the wrong movie.
Who's the detective?
I recognize him. I was like, wait, is that guy from the same movie? Because I ended up looking him up. I'm not even sure if we talked about it. I had a note about it.
Just the guy who he talks to at the police station?
It's like the main detective he's talking to. That he's telling my car got stolen.
Oh, okay.
And you're you reported this already. That guy.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Also, yeah, it's very weird that the guy's just like, no, she moved here. Here's this chick's address. It's like, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, this dude is an asshole in two distinct ways. First of all, when he presents Carlton with the address on a slip of paper, and then when Carlton reached for it, he goes, ah.
Yeah.
He just pulls it away like a dick, like he's an 11-year-old bully.
Yeah.
But then also, he just gave this stranger his old tenant's new address. Like, what the fuck? You don't know if this guy's going to kill her or what.
Yeah, the 90s were a simpler time.
Much easier to stalk people back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, apparently. So he finds out she moved. As he leaves to go find her, some punks try to steal his car. But he beats the crap out of them with his brand new body.
Do we know that they were actually trying to steal it though? Because they just said nice car. I mean,
yeah, they said they wanted a ride. Maybe they thought he was
wanted to ride in a nice car. I mean, I get it.
It's hard to get around LA, you know.
That's
the buses aren't good. Everybody's got to drive.
Yeah,
and he just fucking chucks a guy too. He tosses that guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's just like, oh, Marty, like I can't even afford bus fare or a cab. And now this fucking dude, the old man voice just chucks me across his baller ass car.
Exactly. I just asked him for a ride in the car. By the way, the leader of those street toughs was the actor that plays Jacob in Lost.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
What else is he? He's in
He's Lucifer in Supernatural.
the Big Lebowski. He's not the carpet pisser. I think he's the other one.
Yeah.
No, he's one of he's one of the porn guys.
Yeah. He's not. I don't think he's the one that pisses on the carpet though.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, it was kind of at this point that I realized Hans was supposed to be a stand-in for Arnold because he threw a guy over the fucking car. Like, I don't know. He's a German dude, kind of big.
Yeah, we got to have
superhuman strength.
one action scene in there.
Carlton shows up to Linda's fancy new high-rise apartment to propose to her now that his body is complete. But when he gets up to her apartment, he finds out that she's already married. She's married some rich dude who actually turns out to be Hans in Carlton's old body. And he's got Fulton working for him. So they just switched lives, I guess.
Yeah, but she doesn't seem to recognize that it was him or just doesn't give a shit.
She just doesn't give a shit.
Okay.
He's rich.
Yeah, true.
That's all she wanted.
That's all I want too. Okay. Maybe all old white guys look the same to her. Because they do to me.
Maybe. Yeah, and that's basically where the episode ends, just with everybody kind of laughing, or with Hans like laughing at him, and he's just like standing there all distraught.
In his young guy voice.
Yeah, we get to close on Carlton's old, creepy old man like mouth, but with Hans's laugh coming out of it. I don't know, that's funny. And then we go back out to the Crypt Keeper, who has killed Arnold and is now going to pump him up with embalming fluid.
That's what I thought, but those ain't no hammer pants. So
No,
that's why I was like the second time around I watched it, because I noticed the hammer pants the first time. I was like, maybe that isn't Arnold.
Yeah,
maybe that's Franco.
I guarantee you Arnold left the set as soon as he could. He fucking was there for the intro. He's like, are they going to see my face? What the fuck, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Or either that or he's like, I'm not, this little sissy cannot murder me. Come on. Like, there's no way he's going to kill me. I could break him apart. He's no bones. I just punch him.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Any last thoughts about the episode, Joe?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long like the procedure took and like the time in between when he went and got the procedure to when he saw Linda again, because I mean they don't tell us, but regardless, Linda got married real quick. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
very true.
It's like a year. Also, the other question is like, so does Hans, that's now in Carlton's body, does he like live as long as Hans would live? Or is it just like a full brain swap? So he's going to be dead in like 5 years.
That's what I was wondering too.
Because if it's the opposite, if like Carlton now has Hans' body, so he's going to live another like 50 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, fuck, I might take that deal. Like,
yeah,
get ready. Like, you either can be dead in a couple years and then you have no money because you're dead, or you can spend all your money to become like 30 again and all ripped, and then just like live another 50 years.
It's true. It's very true. I'd pretty much take that deal too, because you got plenty of time to go earn all your money back.
Yeah,
and you're smarter than a 30-year-old now.
True. And if not, then you're just still alive. And if you don't like being alive, well,
yeah. There's probably and there's also probably slightly less pretty ladies out there who just want an attractive 30-year-old dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't have to be Linda.
Yeah, and she fucking sucked anyways, dude. She was the worst. Like, true. Yeah, she was hot. But I
mean, Aaron clearly loves her, but
I do. What? So what of it?
Well,
but I'm pretty sure Hans is going to die, because I feel like if he kept all his old organs, Carlton definitely, like, his heart and lungs would have given out when he was trying to lift all those weights and shit and doing all that exercise.
True. Yeah. So I don't know if it was like an organ swap, because like the face swap was like kind of reconstructive surgery, but just took like the face part of it, took his face off. But I don't know if they like full on like took his organs and shit.
Yeah, hard to say.
I know that's the problem with this show. It did not get into the finer details of the science.
Exactly. It doesn't dive into the questions anybody's really asking.
Exactly.
I really like the old guy's acting in this. I think his like unhinged performance is great.
I agree. And I also like Kelly Preston in this, because she's an asshole throughout the whole thing. And it just made me, like every single time she comes on there, she's just like, but like your legs, dude. Like, but like, I'm also really shallow. So, which I'm like, not attractive enough to be, but you gotta have standards, you know? Because I realized if I was a pretty girl, I'd probably be the same way. Like, I'm like, ugh, no. But then, like, give it up for money, and I'm like, well, he's rich, you know? Like, if I was an old dude and I was with a young girl, I wouldn't expect her to be faithful to me. I'd be like, okay, cool, well, you know.
Also, let's not be too sympathetic to Carlton here, considering that the first thing he says about her is, oh, and also she's young, which seems to be, like, the most important thing to him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're the only one that's being sympathetic towards Carlton, you creep.
Maybe.
I like how she wants the young dude perfect, but like 90s perfect, because that guy was anyway. But like, she also hasn't seen his balls, because like, unless the doctor threw the balls in to like the $3 million package, do you think he threw the like, he's like, oh, the balls are on me? Well, but like, not literally, but he actually puts the balls on himself. Like, he's like, you get it, they're on me.
Like truck nuts. It should be a package deal. It is a package, you know. Like, that's what they call it. Like,
that is
package.
A really funny idea to me. Is that he's got all old man body, but she still is turned on by him because he's got those nice taut balls.
That's what she just didn't. She's an asshole, but she's too modest to say like, I really I like a nice set of balls.
Yeah. Like, gets out of the shower, she's just like looking at him like, ooh, those are still pretty upright for after a shower.
Move that wrinkled thing out of the way. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right. So what else we got?
Okay, so sorry. Moving on. I have a couple bits of trivia, but it's like pretty much just interesting facts I found out about the actual show. So the first one is so apparently the Frighteners and From Dusk Till Dawn were originally supposed to be Tales from the Crypt based movies, but due to like differing interests and disagreements, each movie became its own thing. And apparently Death Becomes Her was also like a
idea.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like they said it was inspired by the show too, which makes sense because it feels like a long episode.
Yes, it absolutely does.
But the second thing was a Crypt Keeper led a Christmas album called Have Yourself a Scary Little Christmas was released in 1994. And then, okay, so this last thing was something that I came across today, and it was somebody just happened to post about Tales from the Crypt, and then a comment on there was this, and I started watching, I was like, oh, this is stupid. But then I kept watching it, and it was amazing. So,
Welcome, kiddies. Would you like to dance to death? All you have to do is come to the Crypt Keeper's party. A monster bash, if you will. Come on down!
What the fuck?
it gets so much better. Like, there we go.
He looks like Chris Rock from CB4.
He does.
Okay. Anyway.
Dope song.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the last little bit of trivia that I had for that, and that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna beat that as far as
Yeah.
Anything else you want to throw out there before we sign off?
Happy Halloween, probably.
Oh yeah, true.
The only thing left is, hey, if you're listening to this on an Apple product, stop what you're doing. If you're driving, pull off to the side of the road, or just fucking grab your phone and start looking at it. I don't care. Flying a plane, I don't give a shit. Go down to Apple Podcasts, and where it says review, leave 5 stars, and maybe say something cool like, oh man, this show's good, or whatever, like whatever you want. But just fucking spend the 6 seconds to leave a review, right? That's all we need. That's all we're asking. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, that really helps us out, and we really appreciate it. It helps more people find the podcast, which helps us to make more podcasts. So if you enjoy it, do it.
Yeah, and tell your friends too. Just tell them to listen. Or when you're in a car driving on a road trip, put it on. Be like, these guys are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Shout at random people on the street, man.
I like how you're pushing people around like Arnold pushes the Crypt Keeper around. Just go right as they're ready. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're wearing hammer
So-
pants, aren't you?
Yeah. What else would I wear at home?
He's like, it's after 4 p.m., isn't it?
But yeah, that's it. That would, we would really appreciate it, and that would help us out a lot. And I know I listen to a lot of podcasts and they say the same thing, and I don't do it often, but the constant reminder definitely helps. So just please do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you leave a review, we might just read it on the podcast. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's derogatory towards one of us.
True.
Those are the best.
If you make fun of me, they'll make me read it out loud. And
Yes, the person that it's meanest to has to read it out loud.
yeah, I won't cry on stream, but you can be assured I'll be crying later.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye.
See you at the party, Richter.
If you enjoy our show, please consider giving us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Potty Richter to make sure you never miss an episode. See You with The Potty Richter is a production of Tape Deck Media. Follow Tape Deck on Instagram at TapeDeck_media or look us up on Facebook for more hilarious podcasts.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.